Hello, everybody in Grommet Live land. It is me, Marcy McKenna, co-host of Grommet Live. And yes, tonight I am actually a co-host. I do have my co-host joining me very soon here. He had to update his computer, and you know when you have to do that and it'll say updating and it just spins and takes minutes upon minutes. So that's what he's doing. So he's trying to get here as quickly as he can, and I know he will be. But in the meantime, I want to welcome all of you to yet another episode of Grommet Live. This is always my favorite part of the whole week. It is so fun. And tonight is a little different because usually you're probably used to seeing us at 10 a.m. on the West Coast and 1 p.m. on the East Coast on Friday. But I'm going to be on an airplane tomorrow at the time of the show, so we moved it to Thursday night. And I'm so glad we did because I've been wanting to actually try that with Greg to see what you guys think of nighttime Grommet Lives versus the daytime Grommet Lives. So this gives us an opportunity to do that. And what's kind of cool about this is that today was product launch day. And so we had I don't know the exact number, but 20, 25 products, new products launched today. So I'm wishing all of the inventors and makers the best of luck in the product launch. I know it's a nervous day for you guys because, of course, what's so cool about Grommet, if you're new to it, is the upvoting. So when we launch new products, again, every week it's about 20 to 25 products, you, the customers, the consumers, have the opportunity to tell us what you think. So you get to upvote the products that you like the most. And by upvoting them, you are also getting a 20% discount for doing that. So you are letting Grommet know what you think of the products. You're letting the inventors and the makers know, and that feels so good to them when you take the time to let them know what you think by giving them an upvote. And then the bonus is that you get that 20% off. And for those products that are a little more expensive, that 20% off, it can be a big number. So it's a great little bonus. And when you upvote, you don't have to buy right then and there. You can put it into your sort of your file, if you will, of discount codes. And so you can go back through that whenever you want and use the codes whenever you want. So it's kind of a win on every level. And so today was the big launch. And so tonight, Greg and I are featuring 7 products that we are loving and are very excited to share with you. Now I am on the road. As I mentioned, I'm flying back tomorrow. I've been on the road all week. I've done a couple Grommet Live travel shows, which has really been fun because I started my week off, or actually, was it the weekend? No, I'm so confused. Last week in Las Vegas for the Travel Goods Show. So I got to do two shows that featured all of my personal picks for the top must-have travel products on Grommet. Those were super fun to do. We had the makers and inventors inside the chat the whole time. Gosh, almost all of them were there for both of the shows. So that was really fun. And I think kind of a huge hit. We've got Gear Infusion here. Hi, guys. It's so great when the inventors are here. And it's so great when all of you are here. And I'm so glad the chat has already started going. And so I want to remind you guys that the chat is where it's at when it comes to live shopping. That's what makes this so much fun. I love live shopping because not only is that so fun and it's that real-time interaction where if you see a product you like, but you want to know more about it, you want to see it closer, you want to see a different angle, you can ask all those questions inside the chat and we will get to them as quick as we possibly can. But that's also where you can tell the inventors and the makers what you think of their products. And so that's a really cool opportunity. And with that chat, when you guys are really chiming in and getting it active, that is huge for the inventors and makers, because what that does is that signals to the different social media channels that we are broadcasting on. So we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn. It's telling all of them that something exciting is going on. And what they do is they push it out to more and more people. And if you know the Grommet, you know that their whole main purpose is to help kind of those smaller independent inventors and makers get their story out there, get their product out there in front of as many people as we possibly can. Because I am an inventor myself, so I know how hard it is in today's e-commerce landscape to get seen. There are millions and millions of products and knockoffs and you name it on Amazon and Walmart and all these huge sites. That how do you get through that noise? And so Grommet is just sort of this safe haven and this gosh, it's such a pro inventor, pro maker site that it really helps them to get their message out there, but it also helps you, the consumer, because you get to find out about these hidden gem cool products that you wouldn't be able to find on those bigger platforms. So I love this platform so much. I'm so happy to be a part of it. So happy to have the opportunity to join Greg every week and to highlight some of the best of the best. And that is what tonight is all about. We've got Julie. Oh, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. It's Greg Rollett.
Just fashionably late, but you did a great job. I feel like you've been holding it down solo for like the last 2-3 weeks. So
I kind of have. Where have you been all my life?
Well, excited to be here. Love the chat going off. Love the start to today. And appreciate you holding it down. The travel shows were a huge hit. And then had a bunch of people. I was at the Pet Expo this week. And so many people were like, "Where's Marcy?" And I'm like, "No, it's just Greg. You just get me." So
Tweedledum. No, it's so fun.
I mean,
I had a great time doing the shows, but I miss you, and it's so fun. I mean, we have so much fun together, and I think we both kind of shed different kinds of light on each product. So I think it's kind of we're an interesting duo for the products for sure. And today is like actually a really great example of that, because there are some products that I'm like, oh gosh, I wouldn't even know what to say about this, but I know you do, and vice versa.
Well, very cool. Well, I know we haven't kicked off our first product yet. Before we do, one of your favorite things that we got to talk about before we go live is what just hopped up on the screen, the giveaways, because we want to give you guys some of these products today. So tell everybody how to enter the giveaway, and then let's jump into the first product.
Yes, you probably know by now, if you have ever watched the show, that one of our favorite things on the whole show, at least one of mine, is being able to give these products to you guys, to thank you guys for being here, for supporting these makers, but also it just kind of makes it more fun. Like the whole show, you get, you're kind of on pins and needles wondering if you're going to win. So how do you win? Well, Jen, our producer, just put up the QR code there. So you're going to get your cell phone out, your mobile device out, take a picture of that QR code, and then just enter right there, and you are in the game. Now, we started recently doing an opportunity where you can double your chances of being in the game by getting a second entry. And all you have to do, and this is kind of in the spirit of getting that chat going, is just type one word into the chat, and that word is giveaway. And by doing that, you get a second entry. And actually last night was the first time in a long time that somebody won the giveaway who wasn't in the chat. So I think that double your chances thing has really been helping the winners. Yo is on. Hello, Yo. Welcome. She's one of our brands and one of my fellow Bloxers from the Blocks. If you guys don't know that, check that out. But yeah, we're going to give one product away at halftime. And so that I think will be maybe Greg will pick that one. So that'll be his favorite product of the show. And then at the very end, I will do a giveaway of my favorite product of the whole show. And I just think I might already know what that is. Janice, welcome. Janice, I got to meet in person at the Travel Goods Show. So that was super fun. And she's one of our brands here on Grommet. Okay, how did I do?
Man, what a good start. I love it. And tons of people saying giveaway in the comments. The crazy thing is, like, if you're watching on YouTube, you don't see the Facebook comments from Facebook. You don't see, but Marcy and I, we get to see it all. So it's really fun to do all of that. So let's jump into the first product of the day. This one, we got it yesterday, and my wife was like, what in the world are those? Because she just thought that they were leggings, like some really cool new leggings. And then I said, actually, babe, they repel bugs. And she like freaked out because we're in Florida, right? It's muggy, it's humid, there's lots of mosquitoes. If we're going to the lake or going off like on the intercoastal off the beach, and then a lot of the baseball parks that we're at, tons of we call them like no-see-ums because you can't see them. And then all of a sudden you get home and there's like 20 bug bites on your leg. These are some super cool leggings. Let me pull this up. This is from Pang Wangle. These went live today. These are really cool. Because what lady in your life can't use another pair of leggings, right? Like you can never have too many. But then the really cool thing that, having this extra added layer of bug repellent on them is super duper cool. So Marcy, I'm going to let you kind of talk a little bit about these, but the concept, amazing. The execution, pretty cool. Loved getting them in the mail yesterday. But what did you think of Pang Wangle here when they came in?
Well, I am one of those people, and I know everybody's different, and some people, mosquitoes just don't give a hoot about, and they pay no attention to those people. There's something about me that mosquitoes really, really love me. And so do those no-see-ums, Greg. We have no-see-ums on the West Coast too, especially on Balboa Island. I have to tell you, there are a couple times of year when they make me crazy. And I can, because I can't see them, but they love me. And and my daughter Courtney, they will attack our feet and our ankles and in fact, I think they call them ankle biters too, and our legs. And it just makes me crazy, and it itches, and it's awful. So when I found out that there was a product that did this, at first, my first instinct was to think, that feels a little gadgety to me, a little gimmicky. Would it really work? I just had all those questions about it. Who would really buy it? Then when I thought about it, and I thought of how, well, first of all, there's so many different parts of the country where there are so many insects and so many bugs. And then when I read about this and learned about how it's done, and that it's infused into the fabric, and that it is, you can wash because I was thinking, well, when you wash it, doesn't it come out? You can wash these 70 times before it even starts to come out. And what they've put in it repels not just mosquitoes, not just no-see-ums, but everything from flies to even ants. Oh gosh, I'm going to forget, ticks, like you name it. Any insect does not like what they put in these leggings. Now, so having said that, I so appreciate, and I love, as you're seeing there, they are full length, which is super important to me because I tend to get bitten on the lower part of my legs for whatever reason. Sometimes up top, but more on the lower. So I really love that. But I thought, okay, so let's say that works. And let's say there are lots of people all over the country who need it, which I started asking around, especially I'm out here in South Carolina right now. We were in Georgia a couple days ago. And I remember being in Georgia not long ago, that time of year when the bugs were just nonstop. And I thought we were thinking about moving there. And I thought, I don't know if I could do this because they love me so much. So I get the demand. I understand that. But I felt like the leggings themselves would have to be pretty special, because I think women in general are very particular about the kind of leggings that they wear. And so I was very kind of apprehensive about what are these going to be like. It turns out that they're great leggings, even if they did not have the insect repellent in it. So I really appreciate the high waist. I love that kind of shapewear, that shapewear effect that the high waist leggings give you. So it does have that. I love when leggings have built-in pockets, especially when they're like concealed, nobody knows they're there. So there's a built-in pocket right here at the very top. So you can put a cell phone, you can put keys, you can put credit cards, all those things. And it's at the top, but it's on the back. And I like that too. Usually it's on the front. It kind of gives you a little bulk there, but on the back, it's more hidden. And it is a poly spandex material. So it's got the spandex that does kind of really give you that hug and that support that we love in a legging. So I am really excited about this. I haven't got to use them for the insect purposes. I did try them on. I felt like the fit was really good. I feel like the quality is really good. And then to have that bonus of my legs are not going to get eaten alive when I'm wearing them is pretty cool, especially those few times a year on Balboa Island when it's awful. So I'm excited to wear them then, especially.
Yeah, I was going through the maker story as well. We love a good maker story. And so a couple things, pang wangle, it's a vintage American phrase that means to go along cheerfully despite minor misfortunes, which are those mosquitoes. When you're out in the wilderness, it reflects our optimistic approach to enjoying the outdoors, despite those little bloodsuckers, which is so, so true. They also have an ethical, sustainable supply chain, which I think is very, very important. Mm-hmm. And, they also support the Outdoor Foundation's Thrive Outside initiative, which connects kids and families with meaningful outdoor experiences. So you're not only, you're supporting a really cool maker, Jennifer John, the founder and CEO. You are, sustainable chains. You're killing those bloodsuckers, like really cool company. I love what they stand for. I love what they do. And again, with the Grommet discount, it takes them from $88 to $70. As Marcy was saying earlier, that 20% on a product like this, like that's a big deal. That's an $18 discount that gets passed on directly to you just because you supported this maker at Grommet. I know we've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, but Mother's Day is coming up. We got April or Easter coming up, like good gift giving holidays. This would be a great gift for someone in your life who loves the outdoors, who wants to get more outdoors, who maybe you go for walks every evening. Like right now, like it's beautiful out. It's 7 o'clock here in Florida, and it's the perfect time to go, my wife and I, to go for a walk around the block, but we don't want to come back in with, mosquito bites everywhere. So I love this product and what they stand for. Give them an upvote, check them out, and just really, really cool product that they have created here.
And I do, Greg, just to piggyback on what you said about this time of year coming into spring and summer and all those outdoor activities, like when I think of hiking, camping, outdoor yoga, there's so many reasons that you want to do those things. But if you live in a climate where there are those bugs, you might not do them. And so now that you can have these, you can enjoy all those things that you love and not worry about getting eaten alive.
Definitely. Well, thanks to the good folks at Pangwangle. Amazing product. Thanks for creating it, launching on the Grommet. They just went live today, so they would love your support. Go give them a couple upvotes. They get them to the top of the charts and support this brand. Love what they're doing. Great, great job. And that brings us into product number 2 of the day. And luckily for me, the nighttime show is actually kind of cool, Marcy, because we just had dinner. And tonight at dinner, we made some like bolognese, like spaghetti and meat sauce, right? And I was like, Jen is my wife for those first time viewers. I was like, Jen, go get some, we do ground turkey at our house. I want to try this product out. It is called the DB Chopper. It is a food chopper. And I was like, I usually just use a spatula and just kind of cut it up. I have to tell you, this was the coolest thing. I was having Jen come over and I was just like, I just had, I had the meat in the pan and I'm just going, it flattens it out and breaks it up into all the little tiny pieces, like if you were doing tacos or, like meat sauce, but it also chops all kinds of other things you can see in the picture, like chopping onions and things. This is really cool. When you push it down, there's like 3 blades. So you have one blade, a longer blade in the middle, and then a third. And then when you chop, boo, 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 it just chops away, like the sound effects there. And this thing is really cool. This actually won product of the week, I believe 2 weeks ago. And we just had an opportunity to get them on Grommet Live. We just got it shipped in. There was delay, like all of that, but they won product of the week. These guys sold hundreds and hundreds of these. And you can see great price, $12.80 with your Grommet discount. This is a really cool way to cook. I don't know if you've had a chance to use it yet, but I know you've been on the road for like forever, but this is just one of those contraptions for $10 that, you just $12. You just want to have it in your kitchen. You want to have it in your arsenal and, make it really fun to cook with. So I'm a big fan.
That's so funny that you just said you just want to have it in your kitchen, because I was just about to say, I just want to go on record that this is going to be a must-have in every single kitchen across the world. I think this is so smart. I do have to say that because I've been on the road, I haven't got to use it for cooking, but I've been watching the videos. I've been reading the reviews. And then I've just used it, like on the bed, on the table, just to test it out on my hand. So easy to use, such a comfortable grip. It's got the 3 blades and that spring mechanism. I just think for anything and everything, I think of chopping cilantro. I think of chopping garlic, chopping onions. Like you said, with the hamburger meat. I mean, you can use this for anything and everything in the kitchen. It is that multi-use tool. And many of you already know I share it so often, but I have a son who's special needs and I have a mom who has dementia. And so both of them love to cook, but for both of them, knives are a little, I get pretty nervous when either one of them has a knife these days. And when I saw this, I thought this is such a brilliant solution for anyone that might have dexterity issues on any level, anyone who might be a little nervous about using a knife, because like you're seeing me do it on my hand and I'm not going to cut my hand, but yet when you look at how razor thin it is, I have no doubt that this, and after watching the videos and reading the reviews, that this is going to do the job of a knife, but allow you to be completely safe while you're doing it. And it's actually kind of fun to do. And like I said, it's so comfortable, such a great grip. And then I thought it's going to be like $39 for sure. That's kind of because it's so cool and it feels so quality. It really does. Really well made. And then I just saw right now for the first time, I don't know why I didn't check it before, but Greg, when you said just over $12 for this, I mean, hit that QR code, guys. That is just a no-brainer. I think every household is going to have this in their kitchen. I am so not surprised that this was the product of the week, because it's one of those universal, like, who can't use a better, easier way to chop up food, from, herbs and things like that, all the way up to meat and potatoes and you name it. So, and I'm sure once I start using it, there'll be a bazillion other things that I can use it for that I'll start thinking of. So I would love you guys in the chat. I wonder if it can cut butter into flour. Oh God, that's brilliant. Cut butter into flour for a good crust. You know how hard that is to do? Like, there's going to be a million of those ideas. So Janice, thank you for that. If there's anybody else that has ideas, I want to hear them, because let's see, fun for kiddos to get involved in cooking with adults. Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm so excited about that for my son. He's actually taking a culinary class at a local college, and I can't wait for him to try this, because he does, even though we let him use knives, he is a nervous wreck when he's doing it. So this will take him to a whole nother level.
Love this. And again, going back to the maker story. So it's a weird name, right? The DB chopper, but DB actually stands for the maker. Daniel Brandt is the maker. So love tied it into the names, the Daniel Brandt chopper. It's super cool. He's a 24-year-old veteran, continuing his family's legacy. I think it was like his grandfather's business and like passed out. And this is his first product coming out into the market. And so good job.
He's 24 years old.
That's what it says. It says a 24-year-old veteran. So so super
Awesome.
cool. Yeah.
I love that.
Love this. So really cool products. Again, product of the week a couple weeks ago. So many Grommet choppers have fallen in love with this. Go check it out. Use your phone. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, you take out your phone, you get the camera app open, you get onto that QR code, and then what it does is it takes you over to Grommet's website, which I'm going to pull up for you guys really, really quickly. So it's going to bring you over to this page here. Let me get that QR code out of the way. And here's where you can upvote this product. You can see it's already got 1,441 upvotes. You come in here, you can give it an upvote. You can come down here, you can give it an upvote. And then when you buy this product, you actually purchase directly from the maker's website. I know Marcy went over this earlier, but it's so cool because you're actually supporting the maker. You're buying directly from them. Your money goes right to the maker, to their business, to help them continue to grow and help people to live a little bit better. So give them that upvote. Go and check out this product. I know they would surely appreciate that. So let's figure out how to get me back on the screen. There we go. 2 products down here on a lovely Thursday night. Just love what they've done there. Let's jump into this next one. The team here, we've been talking a ton about, hey, Father's Day is coming up. We got graduation coming up. Like, we need some stuff for dads. We need some cool new tools. We need some cool inventions. We need some cool gear. And these guys at Gear Infusion, I love these little things. We've had a couple of these in this family. This is the Gear Infusion Ever Ratchet. And it's little. When I'm saying little, like, this is little. We've had other ones that have been bigger or bulkier. They have 1,000 little components. This is a little guy right here, the Gear Infusion Ever Ratchet. And so many cool little things that you can do with this, from simple things like opening a bottle as a bottle opener. It's got a little, I'm trying to now find my camera. It's got the little screwdriver here. You can, wrench things. I'm like the worst at like fixing things in my house. My wife is the fixer upper in the house, but this is such a cool little tool. And it is something that, easily clips onto a belt, onto a keychain, something that you can have with you everywhere that you go. And if you give me 2 seconds, I'm going to pull up the Grommet page, because I want you guys to see this in action, because they have some really cool photos and ways that this is used. And I want you guys to see that, because, just me showing you this little thing doesn't do it as justice as what they have here on the site. You can see, from opening boxes to, the little battery clip. I love that, because we have so many Xbox controllers and things like that. Obviously opening bottles, it can cut things open, the screwdriver. And you can see here that my wife is literally texting me as we're live, and she says, you can wrench things with LOL emojis all over it, because, Greg's super smart today. You can see just how small it is, fits literally in the palm of your hand, clipping on to loops and belts. If you're at work, at the job, clipping onto your keychain here, acting as a screwdriver. It is such a cool product. And this is one of those things, we talked about the DB chopper being something that every kitchen needs to have. This is something that every guy in your life, and not even guy, everyone in your life needs to have one of these on their keychain, at their desk, in that drawer in the kitchen, because you are always going to need some of the things that this does. So many cool tools. You can see a lot of it here. It's even a fire starter, 7 different wrenches, keychain ready. I also love that it's TSA friendly for those that are traveling, especially if you're like traveling with kids and you've got different parts and you've got, controllers and Xboxes and all kinds of things. They've done an incredible job fitting as many things as they possibly could into this tool here. I absolutely love what they have put together. What a cool product. Let me get this off of the screen again really quickly. I got hundreds of buttons here, and get Marcy back on the screen. But I love these little knickknacks, these little gadgets. We're getting into Father's Day season. Like, this is a great little gift. This is a great gift for grandpa. This is a great gift for dad. I know you have a son obviously in college. This is a great, if you're going into graduation, going into summer move-in, like, just everybody needs one of these. And it's so simple. So, for less than $30, you've got basically an entire toolkit that can fit on your keychain. So big fan of Gear Infusion and everything that they've done. The cool thing, they have so many cool products. So we're going to be launching a ton of stuff from them over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, and big fans here.
Okay, I've never asked you. Are you a handyman? Like, are you good at fixing things?
Did you just not hear me say you can wrench things? I am not the handyman.
I was attributing that to maybe you had a happy hour cocktail or something.
No happy hour cocktails. That's Greg the handyman. Like, I can change light bulbs, and I got the record player to work that we're going to talk about next. That's the extent of my handymanness. My wife is the handy person of the household. That's why she's texting me in the other room and she's listening, and she's like, "You're an idiot, Greg." But
well, maybe Jen can help me with this question. Because I was going to say, when this came, and thank you to makers and inventors who have been chasing me down at all my hotels. I've been to so many. In fact, I've been to 6 hotels in the past week because we're doing the college tour thing. And my daughter and I have been all over and being at the TGA show and all of that. So these packages are showing up at all the different hotels, and they're kind of piling up in our rental car. And I'm thinking, how am I going to open all these boxes? And, and then when I got this and I saw that it is a box tool opener, I thought, brilliant. Yay, I have something to open my boxes with. So I can vouch for that. This opens boxes and those kind of hefty envelopes that are hard to open, does that very well. I can also vouch for the fact that the bottle opener works really well. I did happen to open a bottle. Doesn't matter what it was, but I did open a bottle. So I know that those 2 things work well. I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm going to admit that I know my dad would kill me if he was watching this. I know the word ratchet. I know it's a tool, but knowing that we were going to talk about it, I did not know what a ratchet really is and what it does. So I did have to look that up, and I was trying to figure out how to use all these things that I have not figured out. So I was going to kind of count on you, Greg, but I was just so impressed when you read the list of things that it does. If it does all those things the way it says it does, which I have no doubt, then I think it's absolutely brilliant, especially because you can just hook it onto your keychain and never be without it. Or you can have it on your belt loop or your backpack or whatever it is that's, kind of always with you, and never be without it. And when I saw that there's the fire flint. And so that evidently is this guy right here. And I don't know if we have the maker in the chat, but I'm so curious how that works. How would I start a fire with this? I'm sure it's very simple. And maybe Greg, but I just thought this is kind of that Boy Scout tool that one of my sons loves Swiss Army knives. So I thought he's going to eat this up. He's going to absolutely love it. I do really appreciate what a sleek, slim design it is. I think it's brilliantly done. It feels very quality, even though it's, teeny tiny. It's got a ruler on there. So I think it is so smart, and I need to learn how to use all the different features that it has, because I'm sure I will be much handier when I do. So that is my goal. And that should be your goal too, Greg, wherever you are.
That should be my goal. I want to showcase just a couple other things about this, because Brian, who is the founder, he's been awesome. We've been going back and forth as we go through this launch process. But they actually started this business back in 2016 out of a Kickstarter campaign. And we love a good Shark Tank story. We love a good Kickstarter Indiegogo story. They have this. They surpassed their funding goal, their initial funding goal, by more than 500%, which just means like, hey, they knocked it out of the park. Product market fit, like something just went really, really well. It was a titanium bottle opener, which is, I think that's just super cool. Again, 2016, 500% past their goal. I love that. One other thing that I wanted to show, I'm going to go full screen again really fast, is on the Grommet. There are a ton of different pieces, like ways to order this product, which is really cool. So once you click buy now, you now have all of these different options. So the titanium is the original, which is super cool, but you can also go to the stainless steel, which is a little bit cheaper, gets you to $26.99 with your 20% Grommet discount. You've got stainless steel stars. You've got the stainless steel turbulence. Like there's so many different variations of this product that I think is really cool. So you can come in here, check them all out. And then again, you're going to purchase directly from Brian and the Gear Infusion team. You're going to love working with them. They have an amazing support team over there, and they're going to help you to figure out which of these is best for you, for the if you're getting this as a gift, whatever they're doing. But they do an amazing job of that. So kudos to Brian and the entire team over at Gear Infusion. Just love what you've done. Love how you started the business, how you're growing the business. And I can't wait to get more of this stuff on Grommet and hit it out of the park with you. And I think we did get an answer to our fire starting question. So Marcy, I'll let you take that one.
Yes, Brian, thank you for being here and answering my question. So cool. So this is your little flint fire starter. And he is saying that all you have to do is flick it against the tool itself and sparks will fly and you can start a fire. But he did warn me. He said, don't do it right now in your hotel room. So I'm not going to do the live demo right now because that might not be such a good thing. I might get in a little bit of trouble for that. But how cool that this little guy right here and this little guy right here together, you can start a fire. So pretty darn cool.
I love it. Great job, Brian. Great job to the entire Gear Infusion team. And that brings us to the halfway point of the show, which means that it is time for our favorite part of the show, which is the giveaway. And I think you're putting all the pressure on me to do the first giveaway, which is awesome. So we're going to do a giveaway. Again, if you have not entered the giveaway, there are two ways to do so. One is to hit that QR code that we just threw back onto the screen. Get out your phone, use the camera app, and that will take you to the form where you can enter the giveaway. The other way, my favorite way, is you leave a comment. And you could just say giveaway. That's the easiest way. Or two, tell us what product do you want to win. So we've gone through 3 products so far. The Penguangle Bug Repellent Leggings. Say that 5 times fast. And I have not had any cocktails yet today. The DB Chopper Food Chopper or the Gear Infusion Ever Ratchet. Let us know which one you want to win. These are always so tough when you have to pick because I love all of these products. And I think they all have some amazing use. You know what? Because I used it tonight, because it made my dinner delicious, I'm going with the DB Chopper Food Chopper. I think this is just something cool. You're gonna be so happy that you have one of these in your kitchen. So we're gonna give away the DB Food Chopper. Again, enter that giveaway. Make sure and Julie from Pod Angle, she has an amazing product that launched on Grommet last week. Make sure you go upvote. It's a really cool like phone stand that just like you can angle your phone in all kinds of cool ways. Julie is amazing, great maker. But she says she wants to win the chopper. And so let's see if she wins the chopper. So Marcy, I think you are behind the scenes with the winner. So who is going home with the DB chopper today?
You would think I was behind the scenes with the winner. However, I can't find my phone. Oh, I just found it. Hold on. It's on the ground. Okay. Our first winner, yay! She is inside the chat, and it's someone that I just recently got to meet, and I know because she was chiming in on all the ways she would want to use it. So what a perfect person to win it, and that is Janice Shakorian. So congratulations, Janice, sorry. I can't wait to hear when you start using it because I know you, and I know you're going to come up with a million different ways that nobody's even thought of to use it. So what a perfect person to win that. Congratulations.
I love
and I'm
that.
so excited. I just have to give a shout out to Mike Van Horst, who is a friend of mine, a fellow inventor. I'm so happy you're here, Mike. He has an amazing product. We have to get it on the Grommet. And it is that, well, you'll have to wait and see. Not going to plug it till it's on the Grommet, but I do love it. And I'm so happy you're here, Mike.
Let's do it, Michael. Let's do it. Janice says, thank you. I'm excited to try the DB Chopper. Can't wait to hear all about that. And that kicks us into the second half of the show today. Give me a second, because I was trying to think, like, how best do I demo this next product? Because it has to be plugged in. But this was one of those ones when they submitted to Grommet, I was like, oh my God, I want one of these right now. So we have to get this on Grommet Live because I wanted one in my office. So Cliff Note story about Greg, as I am trying to pull up the product, is that in a previous life, and Marcy, I don't even know if you know this, but I spent 10 years on the road as a musician. I toured the country for 10 years. I was a rapper in a rock band, very similar to like Linkin Park, 311. I played all up and down the East Coast for about a decade, had an amazing time doing it. And I was a producer. And so in pre-kids, I had walls full of records, walls everywhere, like entire, like I'm talking like 5, 6, 7,000 records, all cataloged, because I was sampling, I was making beats, I was making music. And then when we moved into our first house with Colton, my wife was like, no more records. Like, we don't have room for that anymore. And so I haven't had a record or a record player in my house since that time. And I saw these guys, they came on to Grommet. It is the Fuse Wrap vertical vinyl record player. And I know you obviously couldn't travel with yours because it is really big, and it is so cool that it came in. And I was like, not only A, can I start playing records again, but B, this thing looks incredible. Like, it looks like it's so fancy looking. It should be on the shelf. Like, it fits right in. It doesn't, it doesn't stand out. It's not an eyesore. I think this is one of the coolest products. And so I am going to do something weird really quick, and I'm going to move off the camera so that you can see that I have it right behind me here. So it is a vertical record player, which is really cool because the record is vertical and it's sitting up sideways. So the cool thing about this that I like is you can also see the artwork of the album right there, because there's really cool artwork. It shows it off. Someone can be coming to your house and they can say like, oh, wow, they've got James Brown, or they've got Earth, Wind and Fire. And that's who I have right now. I've got a nice little Earth, Wind and Fire album that we have going on. And there's built-in speakers into it. There's actually an AM FM radio, old school AM FM radio tied to this. And it is so cool. You can also hook it up to external speakers, because I know there's a lot of like audiophiles out there who want like real high quality audio at a much higher level than the speakers that are currently in there. I think on the reviews, the number one thing that I saw on the review side was that the speakers don't quite, they're not A+ speakers. But if you just want to have, like, I'm thinking like, man, Sunday mornings, I'm making breakfast with the kids and we just have some really cool music playing in the background, some old funk, some old jazz, some classic rock just playing in the house. And to have this as like the centerpiece in, one of our rooms or the hallway is just so cool. I am a super fan of what they have done and what they have built. And I just love what they are up to. So yeah, Mars, I hopefully you got yours at least at home and we're able to check it out. Would love to know what you think. And I'm still trying to find the pictures really quick because my multitasking skills are a little off tonight, but I'm a big fan of what they built here.
I am too. And Greg, I'm so happy you just shared the story about that you were a musician, and you are a musician, but that was a big part of your life.
It's definitely were. It's definitely was.
I think once a musician, always a musician. But I love this so much. And I get a laugh out of it because when I got it, of course, my kids, my oldest son knows about it, but my youngers, they didn't even know what it was. They don't know what a record is, as you can imagine. But I have so many memories tied to albums. So many. And I was so grateful that when I received it and I opened it, and yes, Greg said it's big, and that's why I don't have it with me because I'm traveling, but it's actually not that big. And so I wanted to hit on that because it's actually not that heavy either, because I really did think about bringing it, but I didn't want to break it. That's the truth. But I could have fit it into my luggage because I was going to do that. But when it showed up, I couldn't wait to get it out of the box, opened it up. Takes nothing to put it together. It's basically put together and it's very well packaged. And I called my dad because I thought if anybody would have albums, it's my dad. And sure enough, he had saved all of his favorites and all of my favorites. And so what a fun, just trip down memory lane for my dad and I to go through them and find, I mean, it gives me chills to think of all of the ones that, I mean, we're going through it. And he was such a big Willie Nelson fan and Merle Haggard and, big country guy. My dad always let me play the guitar and all that. And then for me, it was Grease. Like that was my record of all time. Actually, I shouldn't say that. He pulled out a record that almost made me cry because it was called, and I actually, true story, I stole it from the public library in Laguna Beach. Don't tell anybody. But I stole it because it's called Little Marbles. And it was this little girl who sings to the animals, and her name was Marcy. And so I completely forgot about it. But when I saw it, it gave me the chills. And then we put it on. And you're right, Greg. I read the reviews too, and they did say the speakers aren't A+ quality, but they work really, really good. I mean, if I didn't read those reviews, I wouldn't know the difference. I mean, we had it up loud, and I started playing. Oh God, To All the Girls I've Loved Before, Willie Nelson. My dog was barking and howling, and you hear the little, what is that called? Like the little tiny static when the record goes around that is just you can't replicate other than with a turntable. And that is just gives me the chills, just that memory when you hear that. And you're right. I love that it's upright because you're seeing the artistry on the record. You're seeing the label, and there's just memories tied to that too. So it's this very cool retro design that to me, it would look great with any decor, whether you were more, eclectic, or maybe you have sort of that retro Palm Springs kind of a house, or whatever it is. Super cool and compact. And I mean, I thought the speakers were fine, but I'm sure there are
Same.
people that have these insane speaker systems that you can tie it to that, and Bluetooth and all of that. So it's so cool. And with Father's Day and Mother's Day coming up, I mean, this is one, guys, trust me, do the QR code, get that 20% off, because that's a sizable amount. And even if you're not going to buy it right now, keep that, because what an amazing gift to give a grandparent, a parent who records were a part of their life, and to bring that feeling, that nostalgia back to them. I can't think of a better gift.
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to go full screen onto the Grommet page really quick. So this is what the page looks like on the Grommet. I love this video here. So this shows you everything that you need to know, and it shows how the player comes out and how it looks, and just look how cool that is. But the other thing, Marcy, you brought up right at the last second there was that it also connects to your phone via Bluetooth. So even if you just had a record on there for the artwork or just the visual aesthetics of it, you can, play your Spotify or your Apple Music or whatever right through this via Bluetooth. So they have a Bluetooth channel, they have the AM FM radio, and then obviously the vinyl side of it as well. Let me click into here. I mean, just look how cool this looks. I love this with like the plant and the vintage like cameras and stuff they have here. But yeah, this is what the player looks like. So you can kind of see it. It's got that like rustic wood kind of feel to it. And yeah, just really, really big fan of this product and what they've done. And Marcy mentioned it there, is that it's a huge discount, right? Like with 20% off of a $200 item, you're saving $40+ on this. Great for a gift, great for a gift for yourself. Like treat yourself. If you are someone, like both Marcy and I, who we have these memories of having some great vinyl music on and listening to music with the family. What a cool way to do that, and even sharing that experience with your kids. So great job to the Fuse Wrap crew. I love what you have done, the Fuse Audio crew. Amazing product. Thank you so much for sending it to us. And I hope that you get a ton of upvotes. Hit that QR code and go check this product out. Give them an upvote, because it will definitely be a great addition to your home. So
and I just want to ask everybody in the chat, because I'm sure there are some of you that have had or have record albums. What is the record album for you that you have? Like, what's a memorable record album that even if you don't have it anymore, you wish you did, that you could play it? Because it really got my mind. I have he has a Neil Diamond one that also, oh my gosh, I love that so much. So I just want to know who's in here and what your favorite record is. If you could, that would be super fun to hear. The other thing, Greg, I wanted to say to you about the Bluetooth though, yeah, you can tie it to Bluetooth. But what I really love is that when you listen to it through Bluetooth, it's different than listening to Spotify through, you're hearing that little, I don't know what you call that, but
like
that
the
only
white
a record
noise, the crackle. Yeah.
the crackle. That's what it is. Yes. And that's what gives me the chills. Oh my gosh. Jen says Wham. That's her favorite. We have a Journey. Oh my gosh, Sherry, I'm right there with you. Don't Stop Believing, Journey all day long. So good.
Love that. Yeah, I had an original printing of Michael Jackson Thriller. That was one that we played forever. And then my dad was super into BB King. He used to take me to all these, and as a kid, I hated it. I'm like, gotta go with dad to this. And now, as I've gotten older, like now, super BB King, a lot of original pressings of BB King stuff, and a lot of jazz, funk, like that. That's where I lived. So, yeah, love that stuff.
Linda Ronstadt was another one for me.
Ooh,
love her. You probably don't even know who that is.
Bay City Rollers
is her first album. Oh, so cool.
Frank
I hope I'm not
Sinatra.
dating myself, but oh, I love that you said that, Mike.
That's a good one, Michael.
You can never date yourself with that. Even my kids love Frank Sinatra. Lost all my records to moisture in my apartment storage area many years ago. Greg, I'm curious, you might know this, because are records worth a lot now? Like if you went to try to buy them, do you know?
Yeah, so like vinyl outsells CDs. They're the number one way to purchase full albums like right now. Like they are on a huge resurgence. And so there's like 2 record stores here in Orlando that have been around for forever, Park Avenue CDs and Rock and Roll Heaven. But now there's like 6 or 7 of these like trendy record shops that are like where the cool kids go and they hang out, and there's like a coffee shop mixed with like you get your IPAs and stuff while listening to records. Like it is a cool thing right now for so many people. It's really making a comeback. But yes, if you have like original pressings and all that stuff that Sherry lost to moisture in her apartment, you could probably resell that on the good old eBay or a record shop, and get a little spending cash from that. So love it. Great job, Fuse Wrap. All right, we got 2 more for you, and then we'll let you get back to your Thursday night. The first one that we are going to do, this is another one. My wife didn't know it was coming from Grommet. She just saw the name Flipper and Sweep Cleaner on the box, and she was like, what is this? Like, what did you get me? And she got this. She actually set it up all by herself and like had it like, she's like, look what came in the mail today. This thing is actually really cool. So set up in 30 seconds, just a couple poles they go in together, and this is both a broom. Obviously you can see the bristles of the broom, but then it also flips down and becomes essentially you roll this on the ground, and it can like pick up, like we did it with like Cheerios and like crumbs on the ground. It almost acts like a little vacuum, right? And you can just empty the cartridge out. And this, again, kids, pets, so cool to have around, because you don't always want to bring the vacuum out. You don't always want to do the whole song and dance, but for those quick messes, I like what they've done here. I talked to these guys when they launched, and they were so stoked to be on Grommet. They got a bunch of sales right out of the gates, and I can see why. It's spring cleaning time. People are thinking about this stuff, how to keep the house clean as everybody's coming over because the weather's getting nicer. This is a great addition to the home. And Mars, look at that price. $30.
I know. That's another one where I was like, is that right? Because I would have thought this was a $79, maybe $99 item. So $32. Right. And what it really is, it's like a 3-in-1. This is, and I have, I live on Balboa Island. The beach is not far away. So we have sand galore in our house, especially with the dog. And I've got my black lab that sheds everywhere. And I've got 3 kids, and it just crumbs and you name it. That is the story of my life. So I'm always looking for a new broom or some solution to make it easy to keep our floors. And we've got the terracotta tile floors throughout the whole downstairs. And it's just a constant struggle for me. And I have bought so many different kind of gadgety brooms trying to solve the problem. When I saw this, I was so excited about it because it is that 3-in-1. So it is a broom, like Greg said. It's got that angled brush on it. So it gets into those corners and it was kind of hard to reach spaces. It's a very good quality brush. You can tell by the firmness of the bristles. And so it can pick up even things like sand. And so that was my biggest thing, is does it pick up sand? And it absolutely does. But the brilliance of it is you're sweeping like this, and then you're pressing this button right here, and it is going to turn into a dustpan. So you've got the sweep. So you're sweeping it one way, then you do this, and it lifts up everything you've just swept. So you don't need a dustpan. This is your dustpan. And what does that mean? That means you don't have to deal with 2 things. And we're always looking for the dustpan, even though we have a spot for it. It always seems to be somewhere else. But the fact that you don't have to bend down and you don't have to squat and put the dustpan just so to be able to pick up what you've swept. This does it all in one. So you're sweeping one way, you're picking up the other way, and then with the click of a button, you're dispensing it right into the trash can. So once it fills up, you dispense it. And there is no charge cord. There is no cord. You're not charging it. This is completely manual. So it doesn't need batteries. It doesn't need anything. It's just this all-in-one solution that does away with the need for a dustpan and a broom and a stick vacuum if you have one of those. It's kind of this all-in-one solution, and it's just so well done, well made. I mean, just the engineering of it, how they thought of it. I just, as an inventor myself, that's right where my mind goes. And I just think it's so brilliantly done. And like Greg said, it was so easy to put together. It took about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. And it's got a really nice grip, kind of a, it's like a firm EVA foam, if you will. So one grip there, another grip right here, and then it's got a nice little band here so you can hang it on the wall, but you don't have to hang it on the wall. And that's another thing I love about it. It's freestanding. So I feel like on my broom, I'm putting it in the corner, it's always falling. I have a spot in the garage where I put it and it always falls. So the fact that this is freestanding, it doesn't need a rack on the wall. It has this hoop, but you don't need the hoop. So what a great all-in-one solution to keep, if you have hardwood floors or tile floors or marble floors, you know what I'm talking about, how hard they are to keep clean. So to have something so simple, so easy to use, you don't have to bend over anymore, which to me, that is, as I'm getting older, that's getting more and more difficult, sadly. So I think it is so smart. And the best part, now that I'm seeing the price, that it is $32. Nothing is $32 anymore. That's crazy. Like
Nothing
this.
at all. Yeah,
So,
love that. So hit that QR code. I saw a bunch of you guys hitting the QR code on this one. So this one's definitely resonating. A couple more just features and reasons why you're going to love this one. No batteries, no charging, and no cords, right? So obviously, right, like there's something to plug in, but that's awesome. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be charged, nothing. Just go and use it. Really easy to store. Obviously, it's silent and quiet, which I think is super smart. Just a really, really cool product. And again, it's already got hundreds and hundreds of upvotes on Grommet, 288 upvotes, dozens of sales. Such a really cool product. Installs in just seconds. I can see why you guys are loving it. Hit that QR code. Start your spring cleaning early, on time. I don't know if it's early or it's on time right now, but start your spring cleaning. I think you guys are going to love Flipper and using this product the same way that Marcy and I have.
and I have to say, I just noticed Janice chimed in the chat with a great comment, and that is that it's such a great adaptive tool. So for people that have mobility issues, and I am right away, I thought of my mom, who she can't get down there to do a dustpan anymore. So it's brilliant for that, for sure. And I was even also thinking of my son who's in college, and unless it's super easy to do, he's probably not going to clean. So I love that this makes it super easy. It's all in one. Doesn't have a bunch of different tools he needs to find to keep things swept and looking good, especially Parents Weekend when I come to scope it all out. This might help him a bit.
Love that. Very, very cool. That brings us to our final product of the day. These guys launched, if it wasn't the first week we launched the new Grommet platform, it was probably week 2 or 3. They were very early on. I love their branding. I love their website. I love all of their products. I think it's either next week or the week after, we're launching a brand new product from them. So I'm so stoked to get the new version of this, but you wanted to have this one on today. And so I want you to talk a little bit about this one. It's the Rigwa Adventure Bowl. Again, love everything visual that these guys do. I think is incredible. I haven't had a chance to actually physically hold the product in my hands. I hope that you got it. I love it. Tell us all about the Rigwa Adventure Bowl. A big fan on my side. So I'd love to hear all about this one.
Well, in a nutshell, it's basically, think of your favorite double wall insulated tumbler. Maybe it's a Hydro Flask, maybe it's a Swell, whatever, Stanley, whatever you use. It's basically that for food. And I think that is so brilliant. And I was really torn because I knew as soon as I saw it, I don't know why it took me so long to find this on Grommet, but I did find it not very long. This week I found it, or Friday, I forget. But I was torn because I wanted to have it on my travel show because I think this is a brilliant travel product, which I'll get to in just a second. But then I also knew, I found out that Greg really loved it. So I wanted to have it on with Greg and I were together. But either way, we are both Huge fans of this. And he's so right. From an aesthetic standpoint, it's so beautifully done. The colors, I wish we could show all the colors. I don't know if Greg, if you're able to pull that up or not, but gorgeous colors, fun colors, really bright. It just puts me in a good mood. But the quality, that's kind of the first thing. You can tell when a insulated, whether it's a tumbler, whatever it is, whether it's quality, right when you put it in your hands. This one takes it to another level. This is the top quality in terms of the engineering, the fact that it is the lid itself is brilliant. I mean, it has this airtight seal that is just unparalleled. And to me, if you're going to have a bowl, you do need that airtight seal. And you're seeing some of the things that you can put in it. There's a side bowl. There's guacamole right there. When I think of traveling, for me, I am always looking for ways to eat healthy when I'm traveling, because if I don't, because I do travel so much, I just go off the deep end so fast. And not only eating healthy, but also saving money, because I mean, airport food is through the roof. But when I get on an airplane and they have those meal choices, they're just awful, or you get them at the airport and they're loaded with sodium, and then you're going up in an airplane and I just get swollen and all of that. To be able to bring a rigwa with me and have a nice salad in it, or have an acai bowl in it, or fresh vegetables and fruits. They also, inside, I'm going to show you right now, they have these dividers that are patented and so brilliant. So they are top quality. This is actually Triton, which is sort of the best of the best in terms of sort of it feels somewhat like plastic, but it is actually Triton, so top quality. But notice that it has a divider. So theoretically, I could have fruit here and vegetables here, or I could put hummus here and my vegetables here. So I love that there are those options, and they have so many accessories to go with the bowl. But the bowl itself is that, double wall insulation. It is a good size. This fits 20 ounces, but they have some that are bigger. They have some that are shaped differently. But to me, I like the bigger one for things like the park and the beach, when you have a few people, more than just you, and you want to put things like fruits or a big salad or something that everybody can share. Love that. And because I live on Balboa Island and I am down at the kind of the Bay Area a lot, I am going to use that to death. But then the fact that it's got this lid, and you'll notice there is a silicone rim around it. So when you put it on, you just press it into place and you can kind of hear the air come out. So it's tight already. And then it's got this flap that you just push down and you can hear it. And that creates that airtight seal. So there is going to be no spills, no leaks, no nothing. You can turn it upside down. You can shake it. Nothing is coming out of this. So the fact that double wall insulation is going to give you those hours of either hot or cold. So if you're trying to keep something hot, like a soup or mac and cheese or chili or whatever it is, that's going to stay hot for up to 4 hours. The other thing I love about that is kids' lunches. It's so hard to come up with food to prepare for your kids for school that they'll actually eat and it doesn't go in the trash. And I remember my kids would always say, why can't food be hot for lunch? With the Rigwa, you pack your kids' lunch in the morning, and at lunchtime, it's still going to be hot. And so that is a whole new ball game for kids' lunches. So I do love that too. Now, if you're wanting to put something cold in here, maybe it's yogurt, maybe it's, like I said, an acai bowl or a salad, or fruits and vegetables, that's going to stay cold for up to 8 hours. So if you are flying across the country or you're on a road trip, cold for up to 8 hours. Now, a couple little tips that we do with ours is, when I want something to be hot, I will fill it with that piping hot water out of our little water filter, and I'll keep it in there for a few minutes, kind of prime it, if you will, and then I'll empty the water out and put the hot in, and that's going to extend those 4 hours. So if you need it a little longer, prime it with something hot inside with hot water, and then put in whatever it is that you're wanting to keep hot. I would imagine, and I haven't done it yet, but the same thing goes if you're wanting to keep something cold, put it in the freezer or fill it full of ice or something to prime it. And then that's going to extend the amount of time. So either way, the fact that they took something that is so wildly popular with everybody on the planet, pretty much, the tumblers, the double wall insulated, and they created it for food. And they did it in such a beautiful way with beautiful colors. I have to hit on one final thing. And that is, as Greg said, the branding is so great. I love the name. because what the name stands for. The name Rigwa, R-I-G-W-A, is a combination of their 5 children. And Jen, if you have that picture of, I think she's going to bring it up right here. What a beautiful family. And so those are the 5 kids that they were really the impetus for bringing these products to life, because it was sort of a mom hack, from what I understand, that started it. She was trying to keep queso dip hot. And so that got her wheels spinning about, if they could come up with a solution for that, then they really have something. And so it was really the kids that have inspired them. And so they named it Rigwa after their 5 kids. One thing that made me think this was so meant to be for us to have it on this show was I called our, got to get a sample because I really want to have it on this show that we're doing, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get a sample in time to ship to me. And so I said, well, let me see where they're located. And so I go online. And where are they located? Well, first of all, where was I when I went online? I was in Charleston, South Carolina. And I look online, track the Zach down. He's on LinkedIn. And I see he's in Charleston, South Carolina. And I thought, this is so meant to be. He drives over to my hotel, drops all these off, and we got to talking, had a great conversation. He was at the Houseware show and met James. I don't know if James is on here. James is with Grommet. So just, he's such a wonderful man. And I'm just so excited that Grommet has this brand on, and they're going to keep bringing more and more of their products because they are so well done. Really, really top quality.
Love that. The last thing that I'm going to share, you hit on like every point that I was going to cover. You hit, so you nailed it. But the one thing that I'll say is, when you come over to Grommet, if you guys haven't noticed, we have a whole new buying experience here where you can actually pick the version of the product that you want to purchase. And as Marcy mentioned, so many cool colors. And so when you come over to Grommet, you come over here, you can see it defaults to the marine. But if you click this drop down, they have seafoam, coral, slate, snowbird, black, cool gray, tangerine, and pink. And when you click on each of them, you can see the snowbird is, changed to a white color. The coral changes into a coral color. It is so cool how we've been able to do that. And that way you can get the exact Rigwa bowl that you want. Also note that this is the 20-ounce bowl. We are launching the 40-ounce. It's not the Adventure. It's a different one, but we're launching a 40-ounce, I believe, in like 2 weeks. So we have another one coming, but this is the 20-ounce. As Marcy said, this one is perfect for the single servings, right? Like I can see, like my son Colton loves warm lunch, hates cold sandwiches, just doesn't want it. Like, make me something hot. Give me the spaghetti leftovers. Give me the burrito leftover. But I need it heated up. And I think this is going to be a perfect solution for that. Again, Marcy said it earlier, but keeps stuff cold for 4 hours, or keeps stuff cold for 8, hot for 4, which is, it's just awesome. I love it. Yeah. They did a great job. So let me get that QR code up one more time. That takes you right over to Grommet. You can see the page that I was just on. Pick the color that you want. Get 2, get 3, get 4 of them. I think you're going to love this.
Also, in relation to the size, Greg, you're right. It's that perfect single size serving, but I also love it for dips and things like that. So it's a great, if you're going to the beach or the park or something, for, so it's a perfect size for salsa, for guac. So it's, it's very multi-use for sure.
Love that. Well, with that brings us to the final giveaway of the night. And so if you guys didn't know, if you joined late, you're just jumping on now. Every show we do 2 cool giveaways. Let me pull this QR code up. If you didn't enter prior to right now, you can enter right now and you'll be eligible for next week's drawing. So even if you missed today's episode, hit that QR code. And most importantly, now, as we come to the end of the show, we talked about 3 more exciting products. We went through the Fuse Wrap vertical vinyl record player. We did the Flipper sweep cleaner, and we just did the Rigwa Adventure Bowl. Which one do you want? You probably want them all, but if you could have one of them and we could give one to you, which one would you like? Shoot it into the chat below. It's super helpful to leave all of these comments, not because it helps Marcy and I, but because it helps all of these makers get this video into more people's hands so they can potentially find their next best customer, which is so important for these new and emerging brands. So let us know in the chat which one that you want to take home. I know that I have the Fuse Wrap, and you can see it behind me. Love it. I have the Flipper. I want one of these Rigwa bowls. Like Greg wants to win the Rigwa bowl, so I think it's super cool. I'm a little jealous that they didn't drive over to my house and drop one off to me, but
I'm so excited. I know. I love it so much. I love it so much that, of course, I have to give away a Rigwa. So And let's see, Julie says she likes the green bowl. Yo likes the pink bowl and says it will match with her tumbler. Who else? Give us some products that you want to win. Although I am doing the Rigwa, so you're not going to affect me, but I am curious.
You're not changing my
Okay,
mind.
so we are doing the Rigwa, and Jen just texted me the winner, and the winner is Julie Stockberger. You are the winner of a 20-ounce Rigwa bowl, color of your choice. So our producer Jen will get in touch with you. You can tell her what color you want and where to ship it to. And you are going to fall in love with this. And I can, I mean, I want now, I don't have the 40 ounce. I'm dying for the 40 ounce. Zach, if you're watching, I'm dying for the 40 ounce. And I know they have the pod, which is like an actual lunch jar kind of thing with the top and all the accessories. And it's even I saw they have the ramekins with the lid, because don't you always have like ketchup or just things that you want to bring, but you know it's just going to make a mess. So they're thinking of it all. They're doing such a great job.
Yeah, I love it. And I can't wait to get more of their stuff live on Grommet. And for those, Marcy said it at the beginning of the show, but if you're just tuning in now, today, Thursday, we just launched 20 brand new products. We've already got 2 with over 100 upvotes. One's really cute. It's an engineering book for babies. It is so cool the way that they did this. It killed it on Kickstarter. It's already at 159 upvotes. They're doing, it's helping little kids like learn logic gates with big buttons and fun lights. And like, basically like, I mean, if I could teach my kids one skill right now, it'd be like programming, right? And engineering and like all of that stuff. And so it's super cool. But anyway, lots of cool stuff. 20 new ones launched today. I know Marcy's traveling tomorrow. I'm also traveling tomorrow, heading to Georgia for the weekend for a baseball tournament. I was at the Pet Expo. You've been at the travel show. Grommet was at Home and Housewares. Like it's just that season where everybody's on the road, spring breaks and all kinds of fun stuff. But I think we're back, I believe. I don't want to misspeak, but I think we're just back to normal Friday next week, unless you and I talk after this and we're like, no, let's keep doing it Thursday night. So we'll figure it out, but we'll let you guys know. Hopefully you had a great time at tonight's show.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This was fun, as always. And Greg, it was so fun being back with you again.
I know. I feel like I haven't been on the show in like weeks, and I keep seeing you everywhere. So, you know, I love it. Thanks for holding down the fort. Thank you guys so much. Check out the Grommet. Make sure you guys go find Marcy on social media, and we'll see you guys next week.